have. I'm listening to a lot of press conferences and public statements, which just bothers me in the first place in the middle of a criminal trial. But I'm listening to people who have a public reputation saying that any lawyer like myself that says this is not a slam dunk case is making that up. And to the last point that this defense lawyer spoke of, it's going to be a battle of the experts. And I'm telling you as a trial lawyer, and I know you agree with me, Gigi, because we're sisters and brothers from former father attorneys. There's no way a jury's not listening to that piece that the medical examiner called this differently. And then they went out to find their own expert. And with the conclusions and the drugs that are in the system, the fact that there's not significant injury to the neck, because we don't know how much pressure was being put on that neck. You cannot tell me as a legitimate trial lawyer, unless you're just trying to stoke the flames of passions of people on the outside, that that is not a major significant factor that makes this prosecution case difficult. Because as a prosecutor, I would never want to be arguing what the cause of death is.
You are absolutely right, Bob Bianchi, and this is why you're a pro and the best at what you do. You know, the jurors are going to hear some very difficult evidence, and obviously the video is very compelling, and there's going to be a lot of witness testimony that's going to be compelling. But when it gets down to it, it's going to be the battle of the experts. And you're absolutely right. The manner of death versus the cause of death. This is not a slam dunk trial. There's a big uphill battle that both have to fight. But the state just has it a little bit easier because whatever jurors are there already have been exposed to some of the key evidence points in this case. But it's definitely going to come down to a battle of the experts and whether or not that fentanyl or his cardio issues in the past had anything to do with his death at this date.
Yeah, Bernardo, do you want to be in this position as a former homicide prosecutor where the medical examiner that you typically use is saying that the cause of death was in favor of Chauvin's thing, and I have to go out and find another expert to come in to contradict that? Is that ever a good look to you, Bernardo?
Never a good look when one of the essential elements to any homicide charge is the cause and manner of death. Manner of death being a homicide, and cause of death, you have to link that the cause of the death was as a result of the actions of Chauvin. This is a position that no prosecutor ever wants to be. Usually, the cause of death is the easiest element for you to prove in any homicide. But here you have your key expert, the medical examiner, the person that examines all the deaths, especially homicide deaths in their county, telling you something that is inconsistent to the point that you have to seek out other medical experts. And Eric Nelson is using it to his benefit in the defense of his client, Chauvin. And this is going to be a huge issue because it gives automatic credibility to the medical examiner because it comes from the prosecution. So good for Nelson for bringing this out in the opening and breaking it down into terms that are more feasible for people to actually understand.